Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. Okay, so Black Ink Chicago. So this episode starts off at 9 Mags. Brian is doing some boss things and he was saying he didn't really want to put a lot of pressure on Don because he just got out of the hospital, but during that same time, Don is busting through the door saying he's ready to be back at work. Blah blah blah. Moving forward. So Ford stops by and he's talking to Ryan and Don about how like things went with Nina and her mom at the nail salon, how it ended in an argument. He's not happy and he hasn't returned home since the argument. He says that he stayed in a hotel for 2 days. And they're like, what? Like, you didn't go back home? And it's just like, Brian is like, you are in your feelings, basically. And like, you got to put some of that stuff on the back burner because she's having your baby. And you not returning home is going to add some unnecessary stress. So Don is like, it's your life. Like, you make the ultimate decision, but it sounds like y'all will just be better off as friends. So from there, we see Ford goes to the studio and he's getting a number of text messages from Nina. Looks like he's not responding, and it looks like he still has not returned back home. So she was sending him messages. She was like, typing his name like four, like what's going on, and he's not responding. And finally, she just sent a message, and she's like, I'm going to move out and find a new apartment. And obviously, she was texting to get a response from him, but he's like, oh, I'm trying to take some time to cool off, but she's adding more stress to the situation. And it's like, no, you're adding stress to the situation because you can't be an adult and have a conversation about it. And she's better than me because I would have just left and you would have had to come back and find out that I'm not there anymore, because you're not going to ignore me and not make me feel like I don't have you there by my side. So if you're gonna act like that and you acting like you single and you out here doing whatever, then let's be single. Because the way he moving is just like very immature, very irresponsible, and it's just like, no. And I don't think a lot of men know or even care about the changes that happen with women when they are pregnant. So there's so many tolls that it can take. Like, there's the emotional change, there's a physical change, and sometimes there's a mental change. And I just feel like he is not empathizing. Despite the arguments and the things that they go through, like, you are not empathizing enough for me with her and everything that she is dealing with. So we transition to Second City Inc. and Charmaine is showing a new artist or new potential artist around the studio. And during the midst of her like having a conversation with him, interview or whatever it was supposed to be, her father calls, and obviously she's gonna pick up the phone and answer every phone call from him because you don't know when it's gonna be the last. So I'm just like, despite that, it was a little unprofessional. And this is why you need to have management in place. You need to have other people on your team that are doing things. You need to be able to lean on them to do those things because you're taking a phone call in the middle of an interview, right? So just like I have compassion for her and her situation, but like had it been the reverse, you would be looking at him crazy. Like, despite whatever he's going through, if that man said, my mom has cancer and I got to take this phone call, you would have been looking at him crazy. He's taking a phone call in the middle of an interview. So I don't know what it is with her. Like, is she trying to prove herself because of the previous failure? I just don't know. Especially since they're offering help. So it's not like Kitty and Drea don't want to be a lending hand to you. You are just refusing to use them because you want to be the boss and you want to make sure everybody knows that. And it's like Charmaine is going to run into the same issues that she's had before just because she's trying to take on everything. And in addition to having this shop, you work another job. You have a baby. You got a husband. You got a family. You take care of your dad. And you're just refusing to delegate work. And I don't know why. I would not, as a business owner, want to be so stressed out and stretched so thin that, like, it could make you go crazy. So, after the phone call with her father, she comes out and is pretty much asking feedback from Drea. So, Drea's just like, we're missing all of these supplies. We don't have any supplies. This item is broken. This machine is not working. This equipment needs to be replaced. And Charmaine is pretty much like, oh yeah, that's on me. Like, I need to get these things done. And it's like Kitty is sitting there twiddling her thumbs. And instead of you allowing her to step in as the manager of the shop, you want to run around and try to get everything done yourself when you really can't. You can't even keep up with the demand. And Drea just reminded her again, Kitty and I are here to help you. And it's like, you do need to lean on these artists because, for one, no matter how long you've been working in the shop or whatever, like, you are not a tattoo artist. So you need to listen to them, listen at least to Drea when she speaks, and really follow through. So I think she did actually admit, though, that, like, she is trying to swallow herself and work. So she's putting so much on her plate because she doesn't want to think about, like, everything that's going on in her personal life. So, I do understand that it's difficult. She just lost her mom, had a new baby. Um, her dad is actually dying. Like she said, he is in the hospice stage, so he may be next. It's a lot to take on, but at the end of the day, you gotta allow yourself to work through that and go to therapy or whatever else, because putting so much work on yourself is only going to cause you to have a mental breakdown. And that's not going to be good for anyone. Okay, so Ford finally comes home and he walks through the door. Nina's there with some boxes. There's some movers there. And he walks in and he's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "What it look like? You got the text message where she told you that she was leaving. You see some boxes. So what it look like?" So he like, "Oh, can we get a minute?" So the mover stepped out and he sat down with her and he was just like, you know, "I don't want you to have to move and look for a place while you're pregnant. If you don't have to, you have a place to live. I'll go," and a bunch of other stuff. So so he's just like, regardless of things not working out between them, he still wants to be there for his son, and they can do the paternity test before or after the baby is born. He would prefer to do it before, just so they can get it out the way, because he wants to be able to file for custody. He wants to be in his son's life. So he he's like, her sending those text messages was adding more stress to the situation. But you think that this is the right time to ask her for a paternity test, regardless of what it's for? Do you think that this is not adding more stress to her in the situation, especially since She was really hoping that they would be able to work things out and be a family. And now you coming to her with this, like, this is just not the time. This is not the right time. And he said he was told that he would not be able to file for custody without the paternity test, but I wonder how true that is, because I know you can file for child support if the birth certificate is signed. So why wouldn't you be able to do the same? You're going to be there, you're going to sign the birth certificate. So the last couple scenes ends with Don showing up to Second City Inc. and Charmaine is just so excited to see him. She's like, "Oh, we've moved past a lot of things," and he's just like, looking around like, "I'm proud of you, and I want to invite you to the opening of my new gym." So she's like excited, like, "Yeah, He's like, "We kind of want to bring you back into the friend group," and I'm just like, Charmaine, I don't know why you want to be in the boys club so bad, because Don done lied on you, putting bodies on you, and you are just so excited and accepting to what he got to say. So she goes home and she tells Neek, and Neek is like, I don't think so. You should not be going to nothing that he's hosting. I don't know why you want to do that. He lied on you, like, and I'm with Nick, like, I would not be able to move past something like that. He lied on you, like, and it just was in such a derogatory way, and it was just so blatant, like, he did not care, and you might have moved past it, but I wouldn't be able to. So you better listen to your man, girl. But this episode ends with Don trying to coordinate the grand opening, and things doesn't happen things don't happen because production shut it down. Somebody tested positive for COVID, and they can't have it. You guys let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below. Should Charmaine be forgiving and support Don? Let me know down below, and I will speak to you next time.